in April.
Yeah, I don't know. We're used to it. It's for the most part, we've gotten most of our games in. It's just part of baseball. You see it in the big leagues. I mean, they're playing in Chicago and New York and all those northern cities. I mean, it's just obviously we realize we have no control over that. So good news is it looks like we'll get 3 games in this weekend, and obviously we're playing a top 5 team in the country, and obviously maybe the best team right now in the ACC.
Dan, what has your message been to the guys, and as far as you're kind of not used to some of the struggles in this program that you've had the last few weeks?
Well, I've always been one. You have to address things. I can't just look the other way and act like we're not falling short in some areas. The tough part in baseball is usually when you address things, you go a little further back because then you try harder. We got to get the run in from third. Now a guy's walking to the plate with a guy in third, and it's more pressure. What's the worst thing to tell pitchers? Throw strikes. They're trying to throw strikes. And when you address these things, usually you go backwards a little bit, but then you start to work your way forward. And as we always say, at some point you got to slay the dragon. At some point, you have to overcome those areas that you're not playing well in. So address it, improve, get better, and we're at the halfway point right now. So there's obviously areas that we can get better in. I think all areas of the game, and we take pride in getting better, but we've really struggled, the last few weeks. We knew the schedule was going to be very tough once conference play started, and it has been. And but you get a great opportunity in the ACC when you play a top 5 team in the country at Jim Patterson Stadium. All the basketball's over with now, and looking for hopefully a great turnout. Our fans have been good in some tough weather conditions this year, but we're hoping that they're all excited and going to put their attention towards Louisville baseball.
And how does the ACC stack up to since you guys have joined this year?
It's I said it when we opened up the season. We played North Carolina. They were a national seed last year. Then we went to Wake Forest. They hosted a regional, and they went to the Super Regionals last year. Then we played Clemson. They hosted a regional last year. Then we went to Florida State. They hosted a regional, a super regional, and they went to Omaha. Now we play NC State, who didn't host a regional. They did 2 years ago, but they played in a regional final right down the road. So you have to enjoy that. You have to embrace that, but you have to play good baseball too. And that's what we're learning. When you fall a little bit short on the mound, or you don't make enough plays in the field, or you don't get the runner in from third base, you lose. And that's what's happened in the first half of ACC play. We just haven't done enough to beat really good teams.
Yeah, I know you said at Media Day, the junior year, sophomore year is usually where you see guys take jumps. Is it as simple as saying that you're just not seeing that? Are they pressing? What do you think is...
Well, I just think we're just going through some of those growing pains of these guys being everyday players. It's one thing to lean on the railing. You want to play, you want to start, you think you should start. You're confident you're going to go out there and get 2 or 3 hits every game, and then you go over. Then you start pressing. Then you start struggling. And you have to go through those tough times. And, with 7 new guys in the lineup, I think they're all giving us good things at times. They're not the most consistent yet. But, like I said, we're only halfway through the season with a lot of baseball left to play. So seeing Tyler Fitzgerald, Justin Levy, Drew Campbell has given us some really good at-bats. Logan Wyatt has probably been the most consistent sophomore of all the sophomores. And knowing that still Josh and Devin Mann don't want them to put too much pressure on themselves and feel like they got to do everything. So we're working hard. Coach Snyder, Coach Vrabel, these kids are working really hard. And for me as the head coach, I got to do everything I can to help them. And so it's probably a time to tweak the lineup a little bit. I think we need to change some things up. Maybe take Josh out of the leadoff spot, and just try to have a different look to the lineup and give kids something fresh, something new.
How much mentally do you have to guard against now as they're going through this, like you just said, and they're new guys to those positions? How much do you have to guard against them getting down mentally?
It's part of it. I mean, this is the expectations are very high. It's why they come to Louisville to develop individually. They want to put themselves in good position for pro baseball, but they also want to win. You come here to win championships, and so definitely we attack, we address the mental side of it. But today's quote on the practice schedule is from Joe Madden: "Do simple better." At some point you just gotta. Not that it's easy, It sounds easy, throwing strikes, making routine plays, getting timely hits, but at the end of the day, let's just keep it simple. Let's just run out there and play. I do like our effort, and I like our energy, and even games where we haven't played great in, we come back and we give ourselves a chance, and handful of our wins, we haven't played great in, but we were able to come back, and we always give ourselves a chance. So I like the energy and the effort from this group.
How big of a lift has it been to get Nick Bennett back and in the rotation?
It's been huge. Our starting pitching has not been great, which is not normal in this program, and Adam Wolf has given us a really good Friday night guy. The one thing about the Friday night guys, you're going up against everybody else is usually their best arm, and he's given us a chance. Maybe down in Florida State was his worst outing of the year, but the other 6 or 7 starts, he's given us a legitimate chance to win. Nick Bennett has now given us back-to-back great starts where we're down in the series and not playing well. Freshman All-American, and you know what Nick's going to do. He's going to give you a chance to win. So we still need more pitchers to step up. Sam Borner's been phenomenal in the closer role, and he had a tough one down at Florida State, but there's no closer that's perfect throughout the year. But most of the time he's been pretty close to perfect. So we're good. We've got really talented players. Yep, we knew we were going to be a little young in some areas, but we were up for that challenge, and we still got a lot to play for. I don't know, we're 11th or 12th or 15th or wherever we are in the country, and we haven't played our best baseball yet, with a really tough schedule out of the chute. So we just got to keep fighting, just keep clawing away.
What will the rotation be this week after an Adam?
It will go Wolf, and then Nick Bennett will throw on Saturday because he threw last Saturday down at Florida State with the Easter weekend, so he'll get a full week's rest. And then, right now we'll go into Sunday as, to be determined. And let's do what we got to do to win Friday. If we get a chance to, let's do what we can try to do to win Saturday. And, we're not the only team in the country that sometimes go into that Sunday game. That's not typical for us, but that's sometimes a part of college baseball is let's worry about Friday first, then let's worry about Saturday, and then we got talented arms. We're going to be able to flip the ball to somebody on Sunday who gives us a chance.
You mentioned, tweaking the lineup. You mentioned Josh. Would that be somewhere where Tyler slides in, or is that still something?
Well, and we got to experiment with that. When Josh had the concussion at Wake Forest and we lost him for a few games, we got to throw Tyler in the leadoff spot, and he did good in that spot. I just felt like Josh is the most dynamic, the best base stealer on our club, wanting to give him as many at-bats as possible, like we did with Corey Ray a couple years ago. But I think for Josh's peace of mind, I know he likes coming up with runners in scoring position. Logan Wyatt is really comfortable now in that 4-hole. And like we've done in the past where we would surround McKay or Andrew Clark or some of our great left-handed hitters, we try to put a righty in front of them and behind them to protect them a little bit. So, between Mann and Josh, you'd like to put them in the 3 and 5 spot in some fashion, either Josh and Mann or Mann and Stores. And the thing about our lefties, though, which is not just Logan, which is unique to this club, Campbell, Snyder, Wyatt, our left-handed hitters hit left-handed pitching. So we're not the type of team that, even if I stack lefties together, you can't just run a lefty out and look at our batting averages and go, oh, these guys. Actually, as a team, we hit lefties maybe as well as we've ever done. Now, we had a chance to beat 2 of Florida State's lefties. We lost one on a walk-off, and we beat one on Game 3. And so, like I said, there's some good things about this club. There's some good things about our lineup, and that's why we're out here bunting early. And we got to do a little bit of everything. We got to bunt, we got to steal, we got to hit and run. We obviously got to hit some doubles and a home run here and there, and hopefully it's enough to win games.
You mentioned McKay, he was assigned to Bowling Green. Have you had a chance to talk to him since his assignment?
No, I'd heard that he was assigned there, which is really cool. And but I haven't. I got to spend a lot of time with these guys in the preseason. Loved having them around, and McKay was one of those guys. Man, that's what you want from players who play at the University of Louisville, is not just take advantage of it here, the resources, but when you're in pro ball. And with 30-plus guys in pro ball, if you hear in the preseason, there was a lot of guys running around getting ready. So it was good to see, and especially having McKay around. Really happy for him.
You mentioned Logan as one of those consistent sophomores you've got. What's he done this year to put him in that position?
Understands the strike zone. I think he's very good at swinging when pitches are in the strike zone, taking advantage of those opportunities, and rarely does he swing out of the strike zone. I think when you look at the McKays and you look at a lot of really good hitters over the years, they walk. They take their walks. And you never tell them to go up there. I look to walk because I couldn't hit. Certain hitters, you have to look to walk because you can't hit. He's just looking for pitches in the strike zone, and he's very selective, and he recognizes most of the time balls that are in the zone compared to out of the zone. So he's taking his walks. And usually when hitters are locked in, they're not getting themselves out. Getting themselves out is when they're swinging at balls that bounce, swinging at balls that are out of the zone. Give credit to the pitchers, but good hitters recognize that and stay off it. So he's in a good place right now, and that's why I want to put some righties around him to protect him a little bit and not rely on him to have to hit the double in the gap. I think Josh and Man could do that in front of him and behind him.
One more for Dan? Or not?
All right,